Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bradshaw Mountain High School here in Prescott Valley. John Rust with you as we get set for tonight's matchup. Bradshaw Mountain taking on Mohave High School all the way from Bullhead City. We're starting off with the girls game here, getting going a little earlier than we anticipated. Actually, the freshman game, boys freshmen played here to start things off, and their game only took an hour to get over and done with. Also, there was the senior night ceremony, or shall I say the Peyton Bradshaw night ceremony, as she is the only senior on Bradshaw Mountain this year. So they had a ceremony for Peyton to honor everything she has done for the Lady Bears basketball program. And we are just about ready to get going with our game here tonight. The girls kicking it off, and the boys will follow at around 7 o'clock. Mohave, they are coming into tonight's contest with an even record of 13-13 overall. More importantly, 3-6 in Grand Canyon region play. For the Bradshaw Mountain girls, they are 10-14 overall in the season and even 5-5 in Grand Canyon region play. Peyton Bradshaw, again, who was honored as part of senior night. She will be in the tip-off circle for Bradshaw. Bradshaw in the home whites. Mohave, they are in the road greens with gold trim. Probably some special kind of green, they call it, but I'm a guy, so I only think in primary colors. It's green to me. Mohave has the ball to get things going. And that is Alyssa Heath. Heath going for three and misses on that one and goes out of bounds. So it will be Bradshaw Mountain taking over possession of the ball as we are just underway here. Kendall Newton with it, getting it over to Brinley Kidd, who we missed last game we did for Bradshaw Mountain as she was out with the flu. Pass on the inside to Sierra Woolley off the glass and gets the good roll, does Sierra Woolley. And that puts Bradshaw on top 2-0. Mohave bringing the ball down court. And that is Kaylee Heath with it. Pass on the inside. They work it around. Heath with the shot, and Alyssa Heath nails a three-pointer from the near corner, and Mohave is on top, 3-2. Brinley Kidd over to Newton. Now Newton passing inside of Bradshaw, turns, jumps, hits off the rim, no good, but Woolley gets the rebound, and Woolley does not get the good bounce. Bradshaw gets the rebound, however. Trying to get around a double team, bounces it to Woolley. Now Woolley with a bouncer to Bradshaw, out to Kidd. Kidd for three, no good. Ball still inbounds, and here comes Mohave. Long pass out to Beck, and Beck unable to reel it in before it goes out of bounds. 6:33 to go here in the first quarter, 3-2 Mohave. Brinley Kidd with a bouncer over to Peyton Bradshaw near corner. Pass on the inside to Casey Clinton, and Clinton off the glass for two. And Casey Clinton puts the Bears back on top, 4-3. Mohave coming down court. Kylie Heath with it. Excuse me. Pass on the inside to Burgess. Now Heath for three, comes up short, and it goes right in the hands of Casey Clinton. Now to Kendall Newton. Newton loses the ball, picked up by Mohave. That's Ari Beck. And stolen by Bradshaw. Brinley Kidd gets it just before it goes out of bounds. Kidd on the inside, bouncer to Woolley. Now over to Peyton Bradshaw. Works that over to Newton for three. Hits off the top of the backboard. Rebound by Kidd, and Kidd off the glass. Kidd gets her own rebound. Kidd backs out. Over to Clinton for three. Off target. Who's going to get the rebound? Kylie Heath gets it. Down the far side, over to Alyssa Heath. Heath driving the basket, taking the shot, and Alyssa Heath gets fouled on her way up. And up to the stripe goes Heath. Heath, who is the leading scorer in the Grand Canyon region, she is averaging 18 points per game. That also puts her 9th in the entire 4A conference as she nails another point there on that free throw. We're all tied up 4-4 thanks to the sophomore Alyssa Heath. Second shot coming up. Skips off the rim, no good. Brindley Kidd with the rebound for Bradshaw down the far side. Has the ball knocked out of her hands by Kylie Heath, goes out of bounds. And Peyton Bradshaw will inbound with 5:23 to go in the first quarter. We're all tied up 4-4 between Bradshaw Mountain and Mohave. Brindley Kidd gets it over to Newton. Peyton Bradshaw from the near corner. Bradshaw works it around. Kidd for three. No good. Mohave with the rebound. Johnny Johnson getting it over to Heath. Jumper for Heath. It's good. Kylie Heath with a three-pointer, and it's 7-4 Mohave. Newton, one-handed pass to Kidd. Kidd goes for three. No good. Rebound by Johnson. Now the pass to Alyssa Heath. Heath all alone in the paint. Off the glass, and it's good. And Mohave out to a 9-4 lead. 4:38 to go in the first quarter. Here comes Bradshaw Mountain. Kendall Newton. Over to Brindley Kidd. Now bouncer to Bradshaw, the near corner. Back to Kidd. Kidd moves inside. Bouncer on the inside to Woolley. Woolley dribbles. Off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Johnny Johnson. Kylie Heath. Long pass over to Beck. Beck on the inside. Gets bumped into by Kidd. No call. Over to Johnson. Kylie Heath going for three. Hits off the glass. No good. Still in bounds. Bradshaw rebounds it for Bradshaw. Bouncer over to Brindley Kidd. On the inside to Clinton. Bradshaw for three. No good. Rebounded by Alyssa Heath. Down the far side. Gets around Newton. Now the pass over to Kylie Heath. Bouncer on the inside to Johnson. And bounces that one off the foot of number 13, Hannah Burgess. Bradshaw to inbound. Both the school and the player. 9-4 Mohave, 3:41 to go in the first quarter. Kendall Newton past the half-court line for the Bears. Now bounce on the inside to Woolley. Off the glass, and Sierra Woolley with the good roll for two. That'll pull the Bears to within three. It's 9-6, 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Kylie Heath. The pass over to Ari Beck. Now back to Heath. Heath goes for three. It's good. Kylie Heath nailing her second tray of the night. 12-6. Thunderbirds extend their lead. Bradshaw Mountain having to play catch-up here in the first quarter with 2:55 to go. Ellie Bennett with the three. No good. Bradshaw with the rebound. She can't get the putback. Battle for the ball. It's Ari Beck who comes up with it and gets it over to Kylie Heath. Long pass over to Johnny Johnson. In the paint, taking the shot. Rolls off the rim into the hands of Sierra Woolley. Long pass over to Clinton. Clinton trying to get around Heath. She turns. She shoots. Does not score. Johnny Johnson gets the rebound. Alyssa Heath with it. Pass to Kylie Heath. Now Beck goes for the shot. Hits off the rim. Clinton with the rebound for Bradshaw Mountain. To Peyton Bradshaw. She hands that one off to Kendall Newton. Newton setting up the offense for the Bears. To Ellie Bennett. Now back to Newton. Pass on the inside, and Johnny Johnson getting her arm down on the neck of Bradshaw. So, oh yeah, that's a foul. First foul tonight for Mohave. So the Bears to inbound. Bouncer on the inside, stolen by Burgess. Now over to Alyssa Heath. Heath, breakaway in the paint, takes the shot, it's good. And a timeout called by Bradshaw Mountain. Alyssa Heath, that is the one player that Bradshaw really needs to put a clamp on tonight. And she already has 8 points, and we're not even out of the first quarter. 14-6 is the score. Mohave on top. Bradshaw Mountain looking for a little bit of revenge here. The last time these two teams got together was back on January 10th, and that was a 48-29 loss Bradshaw Mountain suffered at the hands of the Thunderbirds. And in that first meeting between Bradshaw Mountain and Mohave, Alyssa Heath with 24 points. I would say she's definitely a candidate for Grand Canyon Region Player of the Year. Fournier, pass over to Bennett. Now Clinton gets that one to Woolley. Woolley goes inside through traffic. Out to Clinton for three! In and out of the basket. But there's the rebound by Bradshaw. Can't put it in. Loose ball. And Mohave comes up with it. Long pass to Alyssa Heath. Heath with the pass on the inside to Beck. Beck off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Macy Fournier. Sierra Woolley coming down the near side for Bradshaw with a $1:24 to go in the first quarter. Kicks that one out to Fournier with the jumper. No good. But the Bears come up with the rebound. Peyton Bradshaw. Ellie Bennett actually bounced pass to the inside, and it's good! Peyton Bradshaw with the bucket. And I believe there was a call against Bradshaw Mountain, but I'm not sure what it was. Either way, Mohave to inbound with 1:09 to go in the first quarter. Kylie Heath down the far side for the Thunderbirds. Moves over to the far corner, bouncer over to Johnston. Now bounce pass, intercepted by Bradshaw Mountain. Sierra Woolley, long pass over to Ellie Bennett. Bennett goes for three! No good! Peyton Bradshaw keeps the ball inbounds, gets it to Fournier, over to Woolley. Woolley moves inside, in the paint with the jumper, no good. And Bradshaw still keeps it inbounds. Bennett goes for the shot. I think she might have got clipped going up, but no call. Ball goes out of bounds. And yes, it will be Bradshaw Mountain possession. Casey Clinton to inbound. To Peyton Bradshaw for three, no good. Loose ball, who's going to come up with it? Battle for the ball between Fournier and one of the Mohave players, Johnson. And it will still be Bradshaw possession with 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-8 to score in favor of Mohave. Bouncer to Clinton. Now to Peyton Bradshaw, goes for three! Skips off the rim, no good. Rebound by the Thunderbirds. Long pass over to Alyssa Heath. Heath going into the paint, taking the shot. Gets run into by Casey Clinton, and oh yeah, that's going to be a foul. So Heath up to the line. Alyssa Heath already with 8 points for the Thunderbirds tonight. Heath 1 for 2 from the stripe so far. And now 1 for 3 as she misses on that one. Second foul tonight called against the Bears, Casey Clinton. That one goes through, and it is a 15-8 lead for Mohave. 19 seconds left to go. Peyton Bradshaw with the ball. To Fournier, now to Bradshaw. Bradshaw moves inside through traffic, takes the shot, goes wide and out of bounds. And Johnny Johnson will inbound with 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kylie Heath. Past the half-court line. To the far corner, and traveling called as Alyssa Heath lost her footing there and slipped. So lucky break for Bradshaw. 2 seconds to go. Woolley to Bradshaw. Bradshaw heaves it toward the basket and comes up short. So at the end of the first quarter of play, Mohave on top of Bradshaw Mountain 15-8. We'll take a break here on our KYCA live stream, and we'll be back with more from Bradshaw Mountain High School after this.
Honestly provocative talk radio on the Lars Larson Show.
Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders wants everything to be free, but you wouldn't believe what the bill comes to. Medical care is going to be free in the Bernie Sanders presidency. Also energy. Oh, and jobs, they're going to go away, but you won't have to buy anything because the government will be buying everything for you. The bill comes to $57 billion. How are we going to pay for all that? Oh, I know. We're going to tax the rich.
The Lars Larson Show, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on the News 1490.
And welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School. John Rust with you here. Thank you very much for joining us on the KYCA live stream. By the way, folks, we have a college basketball coach sighting in the audience tonight. Not very far away from our broadcast position, we have none other than Michael Trujillo, head coach of the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University women's basketball team. Out here doing some scouting tonight between these two. Also with them is his assistant coach, Paige Ram. One of the top basketball players to ever come out of Prescott High School. Kylie Heath with the ball for Mohave to start things off in the second quarter. It's 15-8 Thunderbirds. Heath moving toward the near corner, cut off by Fournier. Now hands that one off to Alyssa Heath. Gets bumped into, but no call to Ari Beck. Beck has the ball knocked away by Sierra Woolley and stolen by Brindley Kidd. Now Peyton Bradshaw over to Woolley at the far side. Woolley with a bouncer. And ball almost lost by Fournier. Now Kidd to Bennett, back to Kidd. Working it around to Fournier. She moves into the paint, takes the jumper. Off the backboard, no good. And here comes Kylie Heath. Long pass to Beck. Beck into the paint, taking the shot. Comes up short. Rebound by Bennett. Now throws a bouncer and stolen by Heath. Kylie Heath with the shot. Gets the good roll for two. Kylie Heath. Kylie Heath with 8 points tonight, so the Heath sisters really lighting it up here for the Thunderbirds. 17-8. Three-point attempt by Bennett. It's good! Ellie Bennett nailing the tray. 17-11. Bradshaw down by 6. 6:40 to go in the second quarter. Now over to Beck. Pass on the inside to Burgess. Taking the shot. Comes up short. Rebound by Peyton Bradshaw. Pate the Great. Brindley Kidd moves inside. Now kicks it out to Fournier. Fournier with the jumper. Again, Bradshaw just coming up a little short on their shots tonight. Rimming out a few times here. Kylie Heath going to hand off to her sister Alyssa. Now hands that one off to Beck. Back to Heath. Ellie Bennett right with Alyssa Heath on the far side. Now over to Beck. Back to Kylie Heath. Pass on the inside. Johnson with it. Bouncer over to Kylie Heath for three. No good. Sierra Woolley comes up with the rebound. Now to Brindley Kidd. Kidd racing toward the inside. Hands that one off to Woolley. Woolley going through traffic. Taking the shot. It's good! Sierra Woolley nailing that one as timeout is called by Mohave. And a great job by Sierra Woolley getting the bucket there, going through traffic, and that pulls Bradshaw Mountain to within 4 of Mohave at 17-13. By the way, folks, want to remind you to join us this coming Friday for another KYCA.info live stream of local basketball. It will be part 2 of our local rivalry, Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain over at Prescott High School. 5:30 start for the girls and 7 o'clock for the guys. Again, Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain Friday night right here on KYCA.info. Also, we're going to be seeing Mohave again next Tuesday as we will be heading over to Bullhead City as Mohave plays host to Prescott. And it will be Jason Zinzaletta giving you the play-by-play on that one. Girls game at 5:30, followed by the boys at 7. Timeout over, 5:32 remaining in the first half. of a 17-13 game. Mohave on top. And Mohave will inbound. Johnson gets that one over to Kylie Heath. Heath backing out. Guarded by Newton and Kidd. Now there's the pass over to Alyssa Heath for three. No good off the rim. Rebounded by Brinley Kidd. Here comes Kidd. Flying past Heath. In the paint, taking the shot off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Mohave. Alyssa Heath. Pass the half-court line. Comes to a stop. Now over to her sister Kylie. Driving the baseline. Bouncer almost intercepted by Kidd. Shot by Beck. Doesn't get the good roll. Peyton Bradshaw does get the rebound. And putting her hand on it is Kylie Heath. No call. Long pass to Bennett. Bennett loses the ball for a second at the far corner. Now coming inside in the paint. Taking the shot and doesn't get the good bounce. But Bennett gets her own rebound. Over to Woolley. Woolley in the paint. Takes the shot. Bank shot by Woolley is good. And it's a 17-15 game. Bradshaw down by 2 with 4:25 to go in the second quarter. Johnson over to Beck, goes for the jumper, misses, but rebounded by Heath, or Burgess, I should say. And now Johnson has it, loses it. Here comes Brinley Kidd. Kidd off the steal, loses that one, picked up by Kylie Heath. Heath on the inside, bouncer to Johnson, off the glass, it's good. Johnny Johnson, her first bucket of the night. And it's a 19-15 lead for Mohave. Peyton Bradshaw at the far corner, bouncer on the inside to Woolley. Woolley turns, shoots, doesn't get the good roll that time, but Burgess gets the rebound for the Thunderbirds. Over to Kylie Heath. Past the half-court line. Long pass and, well, intended for Alyssa Heath, but Heath overran the ball, bounces out of bounds into the trainer's area. So Peyton Bradshaw to inbound for the Lady Bears. Kendall Newton with it for the Bears. Newton scoreless so far in this game. She goes for a three, and Newton still scoreless, but Bennett comes up with the rebound to Kidd. Kidd for three, no good. And Peyton Bradshaw grabs the rebound to Woolley. Woolley through traffic, out to Bradshaw, catches it one-handed. Pass over to Newton. Now a bouncer to Peyton Bradshaw. Bounce pass to Newton. One-handed lob pass over to Kidd. Bradshaw going for three. It's good! Number 4 makes the crowd roar with that three-pointer. And it's a 19-18 game. Bradshaw down by 1 point with 2:43 to go in the second quarter. By the way, that number 4 makes the crowd roar. I can't take credit for that. I got to give that over to Peyton's volleyball teammates, Jordan Moser and Mikkel Clifford, who came up with quite a few signs to honor their volleyball teammate here tonight. Again, got to give credit where credit's due. So another timeout called by Mohave. And taking a look at how things are in the state PowerPoint rankings, well, Bradshaw Mountain, if the season ended today, they would be making the playoffs. Actually, if the season ended today, both these teams would be in the playoffs. They would be in the state play-in round. Bradshaw Mountain, they are number 21 in PowerPoints in the 4A conference. Mohave, they have that last spot for a postseason berth at number 24. So these last few games for both squads, very, very critical. Also, Prescott High School, they come in at number 26. They're on the outside looking in, so they need a couple more wins to try to punch their ticket into the playoffs. Kylie Heath with the ball for Mohave. 2.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Jumper by number 42. That is Dominique Rodriguez. Put back by Mohave. No good. As Ryan Ortiz Tries to rip the ball away, but no dice on that one. As Bradshaw Mountain will inbound with 2:22 remaining in the second quarter. Kendall Newton brings it past the half-court line. Back to Bradshaw. Bouncer over to Newton. Now to Kidd. Inside to Bradshaw. Bradshaw goes for the jumper. No good. Rebound by the Bears, but stolen by the Thunderbirds. Alyssa Heath racing down the court into the paint. Tried to get that pass over to Johnson, but I think Heath might have got fouled. And it looks like they're going to say it was Brinley Kidd who fouled Heath. So the Thunderbirds to inbound. Kylie Heath lobs it over the head of Burgess and goes over the half-court line. Reeled in by Alyssa Heath. Heath gets the pass over to Kylie Heath. Now the shot, no good. And a battle for the rebound, ripped away by Burgess to Alyssa Heath with the shot. Bank shot by Heath, and it's good. 11 points tonight for Alyssa Heath as she extends the Thunderbirds' lead. It's 21-18. Bounce on the inside to Woolley. Now to Ellie Bennett for three. No good. Rebound by Kylie Heath. She comes down the far side. Jumper for three. No good. Who's going to get the rebound? Mohave does. And pass goes over the head of Alyssa Heath and out of bounds as Shannon Moore comes into the game for the Bears, replacing Ellie Bennett. Peyton Bradshaw to inbound. Newton over to Brinley Kidd. Back to Newton. Bradshaw from the far corner for three. Comes up short. And Sierra Woolley fighting for the rebound with Johnny Johnson. And I think, whoa! I think there's a little contact there between Woolley and Johnson is really, really upset. In fact, a couple of her teammates had to hold Johnson back on that one. Sierra Woolley, she's kind of looking over at her bench going, what did I do to get her riled up like that? Yikes, stripes. So a little testiness here in the first half between these two sides. Pass over to Alyssa Heath, moving toward the baseline. Runs into Sierra Woolley, ball goes out of bounds, and now Woolley going to come up with the foul. Not very many fouls here in the first half. 4 for Bradshaw, just 1 for Mohave. Kylie Heath with the inbound and throws it right into the hands of Kendall Newton. Newton racing into the paint through traffic, loses the ball. Bradshaw keeps it in bounds in a big battle as Brinley Kidd rips the ball away from Kylie Heath. Jump ball call. Sierra Woolley to inbound. To Bradshaw, and Bradshaw goes up for the shot and gets fouled. And I think that's going to be Johnny Johnson who gets the foul for the Thunderbirds. Actually, they're going to call it a non-shooting foul. That is Johnson's second foul tonight. Bounce pass to Woolley, to Kidd. Long pass over to Newton. Newton going for three. No good. Kylie Heath gets the rebound. Long pass and stolen by Woolley. Right off the hands of Burgess. Woolley moving in, kicks it out to Brinley Kidd for three. No good. Rebound by the Thunderbirds to Alyssa Heath. Heath moving toward the basket. Takes the jumper, comes up short. Johnson gets the rebound, comes over to the near corner. Now Johnson turns, shoots for three, comes up short. Bradshaw gets the rebound to Woolley. Kidd, 1 second to go. Kidd with the desperation shot. Oh, just missed it. And that will do it for the first half of action. With our score, Mohave 21, Bradshaw Mountain 18. Well, folks, we'll take a 10-minute break here on our live stream of Bradshaw Mountain Basketball. This reminder, after the girls' game, we will have the boys' contest between the Bears and the Thunderbirds. So we will be back with more from Bradshaw Mountain High School, as in fact the Mohave boys basketball team is right underneath our broadcast position, and they're getting ready for their game with Bradshaw Mountain. Again, folks, I'm John Rust. We'll take a break here, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes for the second half of the girls' contest.
That's the IBM Model F keyboard. They called it the musical keys. Well, guess what? It's coming back. That's right, the second coming of the high-quality Model F. You know, sometimes you just need to go back a space to keep tabs on the future. Right. Or you might have to just maybe shift directions. Yeah, I'll stop right now.
Join us for Kim Commando, Sunday mornings at 8 on the News 1490.
This is Chris Plant.
And they're standing, it was very solemn. It was like they're going to coronate the Queen of England. As they walked from one side of the Capitol, the south end from the House of Representatives, and they had to smack themselves in the head with these boards. It was weird. Ow!
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
The Chris Plant Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on the News 1490 KYCA.
Okay, folks, welcome back to our live stream of Bradshaw Mountain Basketball. The score here at halftime, Bradshaw down to Mohave 21-18. And we have a special guest here on our live stream. It is Embry-Riddle women's basketball coach, Michael Trujillo. Coach, thank you very much for joining us.
Sure, anytime. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, Coach, so now I got to ask, you're a college basketball coach. You're at a high school girls basketball game. So can you tell us who you're looking at, or is that a state secret?
No. Actually, the assistant coach for Mohave, he and I went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and he's got a couple, his daughters are playing on the team, and one's a junior, one's a sophomore. So, you know, that's our job in basketball. We're always recruiting, always. So, you know, I just thought they're up here. I just wanted to come over and see what they look like and just say hey to my friend.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the Heath sisters certainly tearing it up for Mohave tonight.
Yeah.
So hopefully maybe one of them is into aerospace engineering, global securities and intelligence studies.
Yeah,
you never know.
They're into that. Yeah, they're doing well academically. So we definitely have the academic side of it. So, no, it's good. We'll see.
Good. Well, speaking of doing good, how about Embry-Riddle women's basketball? Your ladies have just been tearing it up in the Cal-Pac Conference, and I believe right now you are in first place in the conference, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think you've lost. You haven't lost a conference game yet.
Have not lost one. Nope. So knock on wood, we're doing all right. No, we're just trying to keep people healthy, trying to keep the minds right, and play hard basketball, play team basketball, and so far it's doing well for us. Like you said, we're 8-0 in conference, and we just started our first, or the first game of our second round of action because we played Benue on Saturday. So, getting a second look at everybody and see if we can keep it rolling.
And, of course, the big advantage for you guys at Embry-Riddle is your experience, because you have, 8 or 9 seniors on the squad. 9 seniors, and, of course.
Crazy.
Yeah, and they were the ones who actually started the Embry-Riddle basketball program, and it's been just a really cool experience to, going back to when they all came in as freshmen, and I had to start to get to know all of them, to get to know their names, and now here they are 4 years later, all grizzled veterans, and hopefully they can get to the national tournament for the very first time.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's a goal of ours, but it's definitely something that's on the horizon that we're aware of. We got to obviously take care of winning the regular season, but you got to win the conference, you got to win the tournament to be able to get that. the fact that we do get to host a tournament, I think helps us. It's a tough place to play. You know, it's a good environment. We get a great crowd, and the altitude, having to get everybody to have to play up here at altitude, it takes its toll on them. You can see it in the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter. It starts wearing on people. But, you know, it's pretty cool when you sit back and think about it, like you said, about where these ladies all came from, starting a program from scratch, and then here they are getting ready to graduate and just kind of put their mark on the establishment of this women's basketball program. It's pretty special. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that really works well for Embry-Riddle is you're a team that doesn't really have to rely on 2 or 3 players to get the job done. And I think we've talked about this before. It seems like every time I do a recap of one of your games, there's always a different leading scorer. One night it's Jazz Malatino. One night it's Danae Ruiz, the reigning CalPAC Conference Player of the Year. Another night, it could be Jenna Knudsen. In fact, it was Jenna Knudsen in your Ben U game.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, that's one of the luxuries and the benefits that we have is you hit it right on the head that if so-and-so or isn't having a good night, then somebody else can go off and score. And to be able to have that, it's really nice. It's really special. And I think I want to look back on our stats, but I'm pretty sure we've had every game this year, we've had at least 3 players in double figures. There might have been like 1 game or 2 games where we've only had 2, but it changes at any given night, you know, and that makes it really hard for people to scout us because, you know, who do you take away? Do you take away Jazz? Okay, Danae goes off. Take away Danae, Jenna goes off. You take away her, Elise, Cam, anybody. I mean, Beth, you know, any of them can go off on any given night. So it's, you know, that's kind of the nature of what we do with the team ball, and it's anybody's night to be able to step up. It's really nice.
Yeah. And of course, while all those girls are going to be graduating after this year, you know what? Next year, you still have a pretty good core of ladies coming back. I mean, you got Bethany Wolf, who's, you know, a master of 3-point shots. Cameron Brown's been doing well for you. Susie Reynoso, who's kind of a little fireball for you. You know, I've seen the times I've seen her, she's really made some good contributions for you.
Yeah, no, we've got of the class or the team that we have, we'll have 5 returners coming back, and like you said, that's a pretty solid core of kids coming back to be able to teach these newcomers. We've got 5 incoming freshmen right now. We're trying to get another one. And of those freshmen that are coming in, they're only freshmen, yeah, but they're talented. They're really, really talented freshman class coming in. So, you know, we got a lot of, you say we got holes in the boat. We have an entire boat pretty much that we have to replace. But no, I'm not too worried about it. I'm really trying not to think about it. I'm just trying to enjoy the here and now that we're in. You know, we got something really special going, and we're just trying to ride that out as long and as far as we can.
Okay, well, Michael Trujillo, head coach of the Embry-Riddle women's basketball team, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on our KYCA live stream of Bradshaw Mountain and Mohave basketball. Again, Coach, congratulations on a great season so far.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll be able to do some reports about you guys over at the NAIA National Tournament later on.
That's the plan. That's what we're trying to do. But I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, John. Always good talking with you.
You too, Coach. Again, Coach Trujillo from the Embry-Riddle women's basketball team joining us here on our halftime show as we are just about ready to get going with the second half of action between Bradshaw Mountain and Mohave. And let's break down the stats here for you. Well, you heard us talk about the Heath sisters, and well, they have definitely been leading the way tonight for the Thunderbirds. Alyssa Heath with 11 points so far for Mohave after the first half of play. Her sister Kylie Heath, 8 points for her, and they've been pretty much the offense for Mohave here tonight. Meanwhile, on the Bradshaw Mountain side of the ledger, leading the way for them with 6 points is Sierra Woolley. Also 5 points for Peyton Bradshaw. Ellie Bennett came up with the tray, and Casey Clinton also has 2 points. But probably one of the big stories of the first half was Kendall Newton, the team leader in scoring, also 5th in the region in scoring. Kendall Newton has been held pointless the entire first half. Newton averaging 7.4 points per game this season, also nailing 22 three-pointers this season, and so far she has not been able to find the basket tonight. 21-18 is the score. Mohave on top as we get set for half number 2. Thunderbirds will inbound to get things going. That will be Ari Beck, the junior, taking it out on the far side. Gets that one over to Kylie Heath. For three, no good. Comes up short, but Alyssa Heath gets the rebound. Comes out to the near corner. Trying to get around Ellie Bennett. Now back to the other Heath. Ari Beck. And traveling called, a little stutter step there by Beck. And Bradshaw Mountain takes over. Peyton Bradshaw to inbound. Pate the Great going to get that one over to Sierra Woolley. And by the way, that was another sign that Mikkel Clifford and Jordan Moser, her teammates from volleyball, came up with. Ellie Bennett with it. Now over to Bradshaw for three. It's good! Number 4 makes the crowd roar and ties it up 21-21 in the third quarter. Kylie Heath over to Ari Beck. Back to Heath. Now Heath moving in. Over to Beck. Pass on the inside. Stolen by Sierra Woolley. Woolley down the far side. Now moves into the paint. Takes a shot through traffic, but gets hammered going up by Ari Beck. And up to the line will go Sierra Woolley. Beck gets the foul, her first of the night. First shot from the stripe coming from Woolley. Skips off the rim, no good. Still tied up 21-21. Ryan Ortiz into the game for Mohave as Woolley tries to break the tie with her second shot from the line. And she does not. Still 21-21, Mohave with the ball. Kylie Heath. Now to the other Heath. Alyssa Heath running around to the far corner. Now at the baseline, taking the shot, and looks like a block going to get called against Sierra Woolley. And Alyssa Heath up to the free throw line. Second foul tonight called against Woolley. Actually, no, they're going to say that it is a non-shooting foul. So Kylie Heath will inbound for the Thunderbirds. Long pass over to Alyssa Heath, driving the paint, taking the shot, no good. Casey Clinton comes up with the rebound. Now gets it over to Peyton Bradshaw. Pass to half court line. Over to Ellie Bennett. Down the near corner to Newton for three. Hits off the rim and rebounded by Johnson. Still 21-21. We're all tied here with 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Kylie Heath taking her time, bouncing the ball. Now double teamed by Bradshaw. On the inside to Burgess, to Johnson. Johnson trying to get around traffic. Throws it out to Heath. Heath moves in through traffic, taking the shot. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Sierra Woolley. Long pass to Newton, and the ball skips past Newton and out of bounds. And Mohave will inbound. That'll be Johnny Johnson. Bounces that one over to Kylie Heath. Heath taking her time, coming up to the half-court line. Now the pass over to Alyssa Heath. Goes over to the far side, covered by Ellie Bennett. Tries to get around Bennett. To the far corner, guarded by Bradshaw. Now back to Kylie Heath. Heath on the inside to Burgess. Burgess dribbles, shoots. Does not score, but Johnson gets the rebound. Now over to Heath for two. Actually, that's going to be a two as she was just inside, but she does bury the shot and gives Thunderbird the lead again, 23-21. Peyton Bradshaw goes for three. No good. Loose ball. Brinley Kidd gets it to Bradshaw. Now to Woolley. Woolley with the jumper. Off the rim, no good. Rebound by Clinton. Clinton kicks it out to Kidd. Kidd moving into the paint. Slips and gets called for traveling. And Johnny Johnson will inbound. Bradshaw Mountain so close to tying it up, just couldn't get that ball to fall through. 23-21 Mohave with 4:44 left to go in the third quarter. Kylie Heath over to Johnson. Back to Heath. Now to Johnson again. Game of catch between Heath and Johnson as Heath backs out. Peyton Bradshaw there to guard her. Bradshaw reaches in, but no call. And Heath covered by Clinton. Ball skips loose and retrieved by Alyssa Heath. Heath coming down the far side. Now moves in through traffic, takes the shot, no good. Rodriguez with the rebound. Rodriguez loses her glasses. Brinley Kidd picks him up, and now the jumper by Johnson, no good. Battle for the rebound, and it's Casey Clinton who actually just kind of throws the ball down. Foul against Hannah Burgess. That's her first of the night. As Bradshaw Mountain inbounds, Peyton Bradshaw with it. Long pass over to Woolley. Now Woolley moving into the paint. Bouncer over to Clinton for two. It's good! Casey Clinton ties the score. 23-23. 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Again, Bradshaw Mountain looking for some revenge here. They lost the first meeting between these two sides. Kylie Heath gets it over to Burgess. Burgess has the ball knocked away, and that goes out of bounds. Possession remains for Mohave as Alyssa Heath will inbound. Lobs that one over to Kylie Heath, but knocked away by Brinley Kidd, who's going to come up with it first. It's Kylie Heath. Heath gets past the half-court line. Moving inside, taking the jumper. No good. Rebound by, ball still loose, and Peyton Bradshaw gets it for the Bears. Oh, actually, they're going to say a foul was called. That is going to be against Hannah Burgess again. Long pass over to Ellie Bennett. Driving inside, taking the shot, no good. As the ball bounces out of bounds. Possession still with Bradshaw. .305 remaining in the third quarter, 23-23. As we have a timeout called, I believe that's going to be Bradshaw Mountain with the timeout. And again, we are all tied up, 23-23. Hey folks, remember to like the KYCA 1490 AM 103.5 Facebook page. Keep up to date with everything that we are doing on the air and what's going on around our community. That's KYC on Facebook. And by the way, folks, we will be live streaming tomorrow's Yavapai County Board of Supervisors meeting with the vote on making Yavapai a Second Amendment sanctuary county. So that'll start at 9 a.m. on KYCA.info. Back to action. Brinley Kidd inbounds to Peyton Bradshaw. On the inside to Woolley. Woolley through a double team. Turns, shoots off the bottom of the backboard and rebounded by Burgess. Long pass and out of the hands of Kylie Heath, and it goes out of bounds. But they're going to say possession still with Mohave, and Coach Rick Haltom irate over that call. Oh, okay, never mind. Possession is with Bradshaw. So Brinley Kidd bounces that one over to Woolley. Back to Kidd. To Ellie Bennett at the far corner. Now to Peyton Bradshaw. She bounces that back to Bennett. The freshman off to Bradshaw for three. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Burgess. Kylie Heath past the half-court line for Mohave. Now on the inside to Johnny Johnson. Trying to get around Woolley. Turns, shoots, and off the glass and rebounded by Peyton Bradshaw. Bradshaw moving inside through traffic, takes the running shot, no good. Rodriguez tried to keep the ball in bounds, but falls out of bounds. And it's going to be Bradshaw Mountain possession as Kendall Newton comes in. Newton, who has been held scoreless so far tonight. Bouncer over to Casey Clinton, now to Kidd. To Woolley for three! Hits off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Newton. Newton at the near corner. And timeout called by Bradshaw Mountain as Newton just could not get that ball around Dominique Rodriguez. 2 minutes exactly to go in the third quarter. We're all tied up 23-23. Full timeout. Let's take a 30-second break here, and we'll be back with more right after.
This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Well, I'd argue by every measure we are. The best employment situation in the country since 1969. Every demographic group in the country is doing dramatically better. The president has a list of accomplishments. I don't even know where to start.
The Sean Hannity Show, weekdays at 1 on the News 1490.
Welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School. John Rust with you here. 23-23 our score between the Bears and the Thunderbirds in the third quarter. Mohave looking to get off a bit of a schneid here as they have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Most recent loss came last Friday as they fell to Flagstaff 57-35. Mohave with only 8 players suited up in that game. Back to action here. Bradshaw Mountain to inbound. Newton over to Kidd. Now bouncer over to, on the inside, that's to Woolley. Newton with it over to Kidd. Down the inside to Clinton. Clinton tried to turn around, get the jumper, no good. Kicks it out to Kidd. To Newton. To Woolley at the far corner. Woolley trying to get around Rodriguez. Gets that one on the inside to Bennett. And now the ball knocked away by Mohave, goes out of bounds, and it's possession Mohave. 1:32 remaining in the third quarter. All tied up 23-23. Johnson will inbound near the Bradshaw bench. Gets that over to Kylie Heath. And now stolen by the Bears! And stolen back by the Thunderbirds. Boy, talk about a lucky break there for Mohave. Heath hands off to Heath. Alyssa Heath in the tip-off circle. Now moving over to the far side. Trying to get around Brinley Kidd. Comes in, takes the shot off the corner of the backboard, no good. But getting the putback is Johnny Johnson. And Mohave back on top, 25-23. Pass on the inside of Woolley. Woolley in the paint, taking the shot. No good! Just missed it. Mohave with the rebound. Kylie Heath on the inside to Johnson in the paint. Bumps into Woolley. Loses the ball. Woolley and Johnson fighting for it. And Johnson got hold of Woolley's wrist. Just let go. So it's going to be a jump ball. The second tussle Johnson and Woolley have been in tonight. As Peyton Bradshaw checking back into the game. And why do I have a feeling that Johnson and Woolley probably aren't going to be exchanging Christmas cards this year? Kendall Newton inbound to Peyton Bradshaw, now back to Newton. Pass half court line, bouncer to Woolley. Woolley trying to get around Johnson. Comes inside, gets that one out to Bennett for three! No good! And it looks like an interference call against Mohave. And that will go against, I believe, Hannah Burgess. And Peyton Bradshaw going to come in and shoot 3 from the stripe. First shot misses. So Bradshaw with 2 more chances to try and tie the score here with 32 seconds left to go. third foul called against Burgess tonight. That one sails through as Ortiz back into the game for Mohave. Actually, correction, I thought it was going to be 3 shots taken. Instead, it is 2. So it's a 1-point game, but Bradshaw does get the ball back. Sierra Woolley moves inside. Bounce it to Peyton Bradshaw off the glass. It's good! Peyton Bradshaw gives Bradshaw the lead, 26-25. 17 seconds to go. Kylie Heath with the ball for Mohave. Long pass over to Johnson. Johnson turning around, can't find anyone to pass to. Ball stolen by Kendall Newton. 3 seconds to go. Pass the half-court line, lobs it to the inside. Woolley gets it, turns, shoots, but the horn sounds, and that will do it for an exciting third quarter of play. It's a 1-point game. Bradshaw Mountain 26, Mohave 25. We'll be back with quarter number 4 right after this.
Honestly provocative talk radio on the Lars Larson Show.
Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders wants everything to be free, but you wouldn't believe what the bill comes to. Medical care is going to be free in the Bernie Sanders presidency. Also energy. Oh, and jobs, they're going to go away, but you won't have to buy anything because the government will be buying everything for you. The bill comes to $57 billion. How are we going to pay for all that? Oh, I know. We're going to tax the rich.
The Lars Larson Show, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on the News 1490.
Welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School, everyone. John Rust with you here. Thank you very much for joining us on our KYCA live stream, wherever you are in the world. And man, oh man, did you tune in for a good one tonight. It is 26-25, Bradshaw Mountain. They've been trailing all night. Or most of the night, I should say. They've tied the score a few times, and thanks to a bucket by Peyton Bradshaw, they have taken a slim 1-point lead over Mohave. And I'm sure we're going to be in for a pretty thrilling fourth quarter between these two sides who are fighting for their playoff lives here as we're down to the final handful of games of the regular season. Bradshaw Mountain number 21 in power points, Mohave number 24. The top 24 teams qualify for the state tournament. Kylie Heath with the ball for Mohave. Heath double teamed, past the tip-off circle. Now over to the near side. Gets that one over to Burgess. Burgess loses the ball, but a whistle on the play. And let's see who gets the foul here for Bradshaw Mountain. And it will be Kendall Newton. First foul of the night for Newton. Ari Beck to inbound in front of her own bench. Gets that one over to Johnson. Now to Kylie Heath. Heath hands that one off to her sister. Alyssa Heath backing out near the far side. Now Heath trying to hit over to the far corner. Blocked by Brindley Kidd. Now over to Kylie Heath. On the inside, bouncer to Burgess. And Burgess travels. And oh, Burgess not happy with that at all. She just kind of flings the ball into the padding against the wall. Not been a good night for Burgess. No points, 3 fouls, and now just got called for traveling with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Peyton Bradshaw at the far corner. To Newton. Now over to Bennett for 3. It's good! Allie Bennett nails the tray! And that increases Bradshaw's lead, 29-25. Alyssa Heath falls down, loses the ball, and Kendall Newton picks it up for Bradshaw. Newton racing into the paint, taking the hook shot, no good. Newton, I think, got fouled, and she's going to go up to the line. Hannah Burgess gets called for the foul. That's her 4th of the night. One more, and her night's going to end early. Kendall Newton misses on that one. Newton, again, the leading scorer for Bradshaw Mountain with 0 points tonight. as Mohave will call a timeout with 6:36 to go in the fourth quarter. And this will be a full timeout, so let's take a timeout here on our live stream. 29-25, Bradshaw over Mohave. Back after this.
That's the IBM Model F keyboard. They called it the musical keys. Well, guess what? It's coming back. That's right, the second coming of the high-quality Model F. You know, sometimes you just need to go back a space to keep tabs on the future. Right? Or you might have to just maybe shift directions. Yeah, I'll stop right now.
Join us for Kim Commando, Sunday mornings at 8 on the News 1490.
Back here at Bradshaw Mountain High School in Prescott Valley. John Rust with you on the KYCA live stream. Thank you very much for joining us here for another night of Bradshaw Mountain basketball. And speaking of Bradshaw Mountain, they are on top 29-25 here in the fourth quarter, with Kendall Newton having one more shot from the charity stripe. And stay tuned for the boys' game between Bradshaw Mountain and Mohave coming up right after the girls' game. Second shot coming up for Newton. Misses on that one. Very cold shooting night for Kendall Newton. Still 29-25 Bradshaw. Kylie Heath with the ball. Pass over to Ari Beck. Down the inside to Rodriguez, and traveling called. Mohave has gotten dinged with quite a few travels tonight. Bradshaw with the ball now. Ellie Bennett over to Newton. Now Newton past the half-court line. Racing into the paint. Dishes that one off to Ellie Bennett. Bouncer to Brinley Kidd. Goes for three. Off target. Rebounded by Rodriguez, who keeps it in bounds. Long pass to Alyssa Heath. Heath trying for the breakaway. Taking the shot. No good. And Heath gets fouled by Ellie Bennett while making the basket. And now Alyssa Heath with a chance to make this a one-point game as she looks to complete the three-point play. First foul tonight called against Bradshaw's Ellie Bennett. 1 point game. Mohave down 29-28, 6:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Sierra Woolley gets that one over to Brinley Kidd on the far side. Kidd comes inside, dishes that one out to Bennett for three. It's good! Ellie Bennett makes up for that foul with her third tray of the night, and it's 32-28 Bradshaw. Alyssa Heath on the inside to Johnson. Johnson trying to get around Woolley, turns, shoots, no good. But a foul called, and it's either going to be Bradshaw or Woolley. It'll be Woolley. Third foul tonight called against Sierra Woolley. This brings Johnny Johnson up to the line. Johnson, 4 points tonight for the Thunderbirds. Can't connect on that one. Second shot coming for Johnson. Misses, rebound by Bennett. Oh, actually, Beck gets it. And now stolen by Peyton Bradshaw. Kendall Newton coming inside through traffic. Kicks that one out to Brinley Kidd. And I think Newton got bounced around there by one of the Mohave players. So Bradshaw Mountain to inbound. Ari Beck gets called for the foul, her second of the night for the Thunderbirds. 6 team fouls now for Mohave as Woolley inbounds to Bradshaw. Bradshaw at the baseline through traffic, able to kick that one out to Kidd. Now to Woolley for three! Skips off the rim and rebounded by Kendall Newton. To Kidd. Kidd comes inside to Woolley under the basket, takes the shot, off the rim, no good! And a foul called against Sierra Woolley. And that is 4 fouls tonight for Woolley as she'll take a seat with 5:12 remaining in the fourth quarter, 32-28. Bradshaw Mountain on top. Mohave with the ball. Johnson inbounds to Heath. Heath to the other Heath. Alyssa Heath almost loses the ball. She does lose it. It's stolen by Brindley Kidd. Kidd, long pass to Newton. Newton gets run into by Johnson. Johnson looks like she can't believe that foul was called against her. Seventh team foul for the Thunderbirds. And Newton will shoot 1 and 1. Third foul tonight for Johnson. Newton again looking for her first point of the night. And she gets it. Kendall Newton no longer scoreless tonight. And that increases Bradshaw's lead 33-28. Second shot coming up for Newton. No good, but Bradshaw gets the rebound to Newton. Newton going for three. No good. Rebound by Bennett. Bennett tries for the putback and gets fouled going up. And I think from her reaction, Johnny Johnson got the foul, but instead it was actually Dominique Rodriguez. So Ellie Bennett up to the line for Bradshaw Mountain and gets the good bounce on that one. 10 points tonight for the freshman Ellie Bennett. First foul called against Rodriguez tonight. Bennett going for her second shot from the stripe. Rolls off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Clinton. Over to Bennett. Bennett gets that one over to Newton for three. It's good! Kendall Newton banking it off the glass for the tray. And it's 37-28 Bradshaw. First field goal tonight for Kendall Newton, and it's a big three-pointer that gives Bradshaw Mountain a 9-point lead. Again, Kendall Newton, the leading scorer for Bradshaw Mountain, averaging 7.4 points per game, and it wasn't until here in the fourth quarter that she finally got on the board. Also, Kendall Newton having herself a pretty good week last week against Mingus and Lee Williams. Friday against Mingus, Newton with 10 points and 5 steals. Then last Tuesday against Lee Williams, Newton putting up 15 points for the Bears. Johnson inbounds the ball over to Kylie Heath. Now hands that one off to Alyssa Heath. As Ellie Bennett knocking down Johnson. So Bennett gets called for the foul, and that is the 6th foul for Bradshaw Mountain tonight. Or I should say 6th foul in this half for Bradshaw Mountain. Over to Kylie Heath at the far side. Heath to Alyssa Heath. Now to Kylie Heath. On the inside of Johnson. Turns through traffic, takes the shot, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Thunderbirds. And Burgess gets the rebound, gets the basket, and gets the foul. Brindley Kidd gets hit with the foul. And Hannah Burgess up to the line to try and make this a 6-point game. 3-point play unsuccessful. Ball rebounded by Brindley Kidd. Bouncer over to Peyton Bradshaw at the far side. Now back to Kidd. Past the half-court line. Over to Kendall Newton. Cross courts it over to Peyton Bradshaw. Back to Newton. Now in the near corner to Bennett. Newton going for three. It's good! Well, Kendall Newton might have been late to the party when it comes to scoring, but I'll tell you what, she's heating it up at the right time. 40-30, Bradshaw up by 10. Heath on the inside to Johnson. Turns, shoots, it's good! Johnny Johnson for 2. 40-32. 3:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Newton again with the hook shot. It's good! Kendall Newton all of the sudden heating it up for Bradshaw. Well, I guess she wanted to save all her offense for when it counted in the fourth quarter. It's 42-32 Bradshaw. 3:10 to go in the fourth. Johnson on the inside. Shot by Ortiz, no good. Rebounded by Burgess. Loose ball has, well, Casey Clinton gets tangled up with Johnson. And I think Johnson gave a little bit of an icy stare over there to Casey Clinton. And Johnson will head on up to the line. And it'll be 1-1 for Johnson as timeout is called by Mohave. Third foul tonight for Casey Clinton, who has 4 points for Bradshaw Mountain. Clinton this season for the Lady Bears, averaging 5.3 points per game and 5.7 rebounds per game. In fact, she fell short of a double-double last Tuesday against Lee Williams. Clinton with 8 points and 10 rebounds. Johnny Johnson, meanwhile, for Mohave, she's averaging 6.3 points per game. How about this? 8.7 rebounds per game, one of the top rebounders in the Grand Canyon region, along with 2.3 points per, or 2.3 steals per game, I should say. Johnson, the last time these two teams got together back on January 10th, posted a double-double against Bradshaw. She had 12 points and 11 rebounds. 6 points tonight for Johnson. She is looking for 7 points now, shooting 1-1 from the stripe. High arcing shot, that goes in. And Johnson with a chance to make this a 6-point game with Mohave trailing. Another arc that misses and rebounded by Kidd, and we get a whistle here just as soon as Kidd got the rebound. Wondering if a lane violation was called there as Kidd will inbound. Bouncer to Woolley, now to Kidd. Or excuse me, that's Kendall Newton with it. And Newton going inside, bouncer over to Clinton. Clinton off the glass, it's good! Casey Clinton for 2. 44-33 Bradshaw with 2:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Alyssa Heath, far corner. Gets the pass, intercepted by Newton. And Newton bumps into Johnson. I think Johnson gave a little extra shove there. And it looks like, I think it's going to be Johnson who gets the, actually correction, and it's going to be number 30, Kylie Heath, who gets the foul. So Newton up to the line to shoot 1-1. Newton 8 points, all 8 coming here in the fourth quarter. 9 points for Newton. As she'll try to go into double digits here with this shot. Doesn't. Rebound by Mohave. Over to Heath. 2:30 to go in the fourth quarter. 45-33 Bradshaw. Bounce on the inside. Stolen by Woolley. And it looks like, whoa! And Johnson put an arm right in Woolley's face, and she gets a technical. I kind of had a feeling this might be coming because Johnson and Woolley have been getting tangled up quite a bit tonight. And Johnson and Woolley got tangled up again, and Johnson just kind of put a forearm in Woolley's face, so she gets nailed for the technical. Johnson is done tonight. That is her 5th foul. And this will bring Sierra Woolley up to the line. So Mohave will have to play the last 2:25 of regulation without one of their top players, as Sierra Woolley all by herself at the charity stripe. First shot by Woolley goes in. Next shot coming for Sierra Woolley. That one also goes through. Well, Johnson looked like had a parting word or two for the official, and the coaches tell her to just sit down and cool off, as Woolley now another shot at the stripe. That one does not go in. And these are for the technical foul, these shots. Next one for Woolley. Hits that one. And because it was a technical, Bradshaw Mountain does get the ball back. They lead it 48-33, 2:25 to go in the fourth. Bouncer to Bradshaw, as I think Bradshaw stepped out of bounds before she collided with Alyssa Heath. Heath with the inbound, almost loses the ball, now turns inside, and it looks like she got tripped up by Brinley Kidd. So she's going to get called for the block with 2:18 to go in the fourth. Alyssa Heath up to the line for the Thunderbirds. As Ari Beck coming out of the game for Mohave. Dominique Rodriguez back in. Alyssa Heath 3 for 5 from the stripe tonight for Mohave. Sinks that one. 15 points tonight for Alyssa Heath. Misses on that one. Rebound by Ellie Bennett. Bouncer to Woolley. Now over to Kidd at the far side. And I think we got a timeout here. So I believe timeout for Mohave, and it's a full timeout. So let's take a break here on our live stream. We'll be back with more from Bradshaw Mountain High School after this.
This is Chris Plant.
And they're standing, it was very solemn. It was like they're going to coronate the Queen of England. As they walked from one side of the Capitol, the south end from the House of Representatives, and they had to smack themselves in the head with these boards. It was weird. Oh, ow.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
The Chris Plant Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on the News 1490 KYCA.
Welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School here in Prescott Valley. John Rust with you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the KYCA live stream for Bradshaw Mountain basketball. 48-34, Bradshaw Mountain on top here in the fourth quarter. Timeout is over. As yes, it's late in the fourth quarter, so all aboard the timeout train. Pate the Great to inbound for Bradshaw Mountain. It's the Kid, now over to Bradshaw. Bouncer to Ellie Bennett. Brinley Kidd with it. Now to Woolley. Woolley moving inside. Now over to Bennett. Bennett at the baseline. Goes for the shot. No good. Rebounded by Alyssa Heath. Heath down the near side. Right with her is Kendall Newton. Ball goes off of Alyssa Heath's foot. Out of bounds and possession Bradshaw. Bears to inbound. Sierra Woolley with it. Woolley past the half-court line. Minute 35 to go. Woolley goes inside to the paint. Now kicks it out to Newton. Over to Brindley Kidd. Now to Woolley. Well, Bears just kind of passing it around here, letting some clock run down. $1:20 remaining in the fourth. Bradshaw in command here, 48-34, as it looks like they will even up the season series between these two sides. As Kylie Heath kind of reaches in there on Sierra Woolley, but no call. And again, it's just kind of passing the ball around with 1 minute to go. Kidd into the paint, goes for the shot, and doesn't get the roll, but Peyton Bradshaw gets the rebound, takes the shot through traffic. Now Ellie Bennett with the putback, no good. Bradshaw with the rebound, still no good, and Bradshaw gets fouled, taking the shot. Peyton Bradshaw will head up to the line. And it looks like it's going to be Ryan Ortiz getting called for the foul. 8 points tonight for Peyton Bradshaw on senior night. And Bradshaw, of course, the lone senior on this squad. Make it 9 points as Pate the Great makes that one. And again, Pate the Great comes from her good buddies, Mikkel Clifford and Jordan Mosier from the volleyball team. Bradshaw does not make that one as the ball goes out of bounds. And another timeout is called with 50 seconds to go. For whatever reason, we call a timeout with the score 49-34. Right after this game, folks, we will have the Bradshaw Mountain Mohave boys game for you. So stay tuned with us for that on KYCA.info. Also, more exciting local basketball coming up for you Friday night on the KYCA.info live stream. It will be the Clash of the Rivals, Part 2. Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain under the dome at Prescott High School. Girls tip off at 5:30 p.m., followed by the boys at 7 p.m. Then next Tuesday, we're taking a little trip over to Bullhead City to see Mohave once again. This time, Mohave will host Prescott High School. Jason Zinzaletta will be bringing you the play-by-play on that one. Again, 5:30 tip-off time for the girls and 7 p.m. for the boys next Tuesday over at Mohave High School. So 50 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Bradshaw large and in charge, 49-34. 49 seconds to go. Thunderbirds with the ball. Heath. Now the shot for three by number 40, Ibrahim, no good. Bradshaw gets the rebound. That's Kendall Newton down the near side. Trying to get around Heath, and it looks like Heath threw a block there on Newton. So up to the line will go Kendall Newton as Shannon Moore and Rachel Supergan getting ready to check into the game for Bradshaw. First shot coming up for Newton. Misses on that. Mass substitutions now for Bradshaw. Tyler Greenway also into the game, along with Kaylee Hillig. Kaylee Hillig, who I had on my Super Bowl pick show on the Tri-City Sports Roundup this Saturday, and Kaylee Hillig's pick was wrong. She picked San Francisco. As Newton hits that free throw, making it 50-34 Bradshaw Mountain. Kylie Heath past the half-court line. Now three-point attempt by number 2, Alma Castillo, goes for naught. Ibrahim gets that one over to Heath. 17 seconds to go as Heath backs out. Now pass over to Ibrahim, going for three, no good, as the ball goes out of bounds with 6 seconds to go in regulation. Inbound to Peyton Bradshaw. Bradshaw past the half-court line. Going for three at the buzzer. It's good! Peyton Bradshaw ends senior night with a tray and gives Bradshaw Mountain the 53-34 victory. Oh, folks, thank you very much for joining us here on the live stream. Remember, we've got the boys game coming up in about 15 minutes or so stick around for that. Again, the final score here in the girls game, 53-34, Bradshaw Mountain over Mohave. We'll see you after this break with the boys game.
I enjoy informing and educating people. It makes for a better country and a brighter future.
Rush Limbaugh.
Whatever's hot and whatever matters, guaranteed we will be talking about it. A man, a living legend, a way of life.
The Mandarin of Talk Radio. Rush.
Also known as the scariest and most dangerous man in America to the American left, and that's because I'm right.
The most listened to talk radio program in the universe.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on the News 1490 and 103.5 FM.
Welcome, everyone, back to Bradshaw Mountain High School here in Prescott Valley. John Rust with you for the second half of our Bradshaw Mountain basketball doubleheader as the Bears take on the visiting Thunderbirds of Mohave High School all the way from Bullhead City. We just got done with the girls game with Bradshaw Mountain getting a huge 53-34 victory on senior night. And speaking of senior night, the lone senior for Bradshaw Mountain, Peyton Bradshaw, Peyton the Great, well, she was the leading scorer for the Bears with 13 points, including a three-pointer at the buzzer to end the game. 10 points apiece for Kendall Newton and Ellie Bennett. By the way, Kendall Newton, all 10 of those points coming in the fourth quarter. 9 points for Sierra Woolley and 7 points for Casey Clinton. Meanwhile, on the Mohave side of the ledger, 15 points for Alyssa Heath, 10 points for Kylie Heath, and 7 points actually for Johnny Johnson. The starters are being introduced now, and it looks like it is time for the national anthem here at Bradshaw Mountain. National anthem performed here at Bradshaw Mountain High School as we are set for the boys contest between Bradshaw and Mohave. Mohave, they are coming into tonight's contest with a 13-16 overall record. Meanwhile, for Bradshaw Mountain, they are 13-10 overall. In the Grand Canyon region standings, Bradshaw Mountain, they are in third place with a 6-4 region record. Mohave, they are 1-8 in the region. PowerPoint-wise, Bradshaw Mountain in pretty good shape when it comes to playoff positioning. They are number 18 in the 4A conference in the state PowerPoint rankings. Top 24 teams do qualify for the state tournament. Mohave, they are way out of a playoff position. They are at the number 36 spot. Nate Summit in the tip-off circle for Bradshaw Mountain. And Bradshaw gets the ball to start things off here in this game. Devin Bando with it. Of note tonight, no Jordan Massis for Bradshaw Mountain. He is out with a broken nose. I hope he will be back for the Prescott game as Nate Summit goes up for the shot and gets fouled. And just a few seconds into the game, Nate Summit will go to the free throw line and shoot 2 after the foul by Jesus Ramirez. Good to see Nate Summit back. Our last Bradshaw Mountain basketball live stream, Summit was unavailable due to the flu as he misses on the first shot from the stripe. Second shot coming up for Summit, and that one doesn't get the good roll. Mohave gets the rebound, so it's still 0-0 between these two clubs. Chris Flores with it, backing off. Now over to Alonzo Flores. Now back to Chris Flores. Flores coming around the far side. Where someone passed to, gets it over to Alonzo Flores. On the inside, and shot, and the bucket is good by Mohave. And it looks like that was number 52, Jesus Ramirez. And it's 2-0. Thunderbirds on top. Nate Summit with the ball for the Bears. Now over to Carter John. John thought about a 3. Now gets it over to Trip Nestor. Nestor on the inside to Stiegel. Stiegel off the glass. No good. Devin Bandy gets the rebound for the Bears to Nestor. On the inside again to Stiegel. Stolen by the Thunderbirds. Chris Flores. Flores takes a pass to half-court line for Mohave. 6:30 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Mohave. Alonzo Flores. On the inside. Now the shot by Hawkes. No good. Rebound by Nestor. Nestor moving inside. Taking the shot and rolls off the rim. No good. Rebounded by the Thunderbirds. And it looks like foul going to get called against Bradshaw Mountain. Trip Nestor gets called for the foul. Bradshaw Mountain has already had about 2 or 3 shots on the basket and just unable to get the good roll right now. Chris Flores takes a pass to half-court line for the Thunderbirds. Over to Alonzo Flores. Now back to the other Flores. Long pass to the far corner. Coming inside. Dishes it off inside, and Carter John comes up with the steal for Bradshaw Mountain. Over to Stiegel. Stiegel turns and has it stolen away by Mohave. Chris Flores loses the ball. Gets it back. Taking the shot. Blocked by Carter John. Trip Nestor has the ball now for Bradshaw. Nate Summit with it now. Passes it back to Nestor. 5:28 to go in the first quarter. 2-0. Bradshaw down to Mohave. Stiegel looking for someone to get the ball to. Finally kicks it out to Nestor. Over to Carter John. Bounce pass on the inside to Nate Summit. Summit turning through traffic, taking the shot. Doesn't get the good roll again. Man, Bradshaw Mountain just coming up empty on those bunnies so far. Down the far side goes Chris Flores for the Thunderbirds. Setting up the offense. Getting that one over to Chris Hawkes. Bouncer over to Flores. Now coming in was Alonzo Flores, but looks like he got clipped by someone from Bradshaw. It's either John or Nestor, and they're going to say Carter John is going to pick up the foul. And Alonzo Flores will inbound for the T-Birds. 4:50 to go in the first quarter of a low-scoring affair so far. 2-0 Mohave on top. Flores gets it over in the near corner. Now on the inside to Hawkes. Out to Alonzo Flores, back to Chris Flores. Now over to number 24, Brian Ising. Chris Flores with the pass over to Hawkes. Ising again. Coming inside. Gets through traffic and traveling the call as he bumps up against TJ Stiegel. Bradshaw ball with 4:19 to go in the first quarter of a 2-0 game. T-Birds on top. Devin Banda. Bounce it to Carter John. John up to the basket, off the glass. No good again. Bradshaw Mountain just can't seem to put it in on those close range shots. Total lid on the basket for the Bears right now as Jake Platt comes in for Bradshaw. And TJ Stiegel will take a break. Platt will inbound with 4:08 to go in the first quarter. To Carter John. John looking for someone to pass to. He gets it over to Banda. Now to Nestor. Platt has it. To Nestor. Bradshaw working it around, and the ball sails by Devin Banda out of bounds. And Bradshaw kind of stumbling out of the gate here to get this game going. Though Mohave not really taking too much advantage of it as they're only up 2-0, and we're down to 3:40 to go in the first quarter. Ball almost gets away from Flores. He takes it back out. Flores trying to get around Banda. Now kicks that one out to Flores. Now back to Hawkes. Hawkes trying to get around traffic. Over to Alonzo Flores. Now to Ising. Ising going for three. No good. Rolls off the rim and into the hands of Nate Summit. Carter John down the far side for the Bears. To Trip Nestor. Over to Banda. Near corner, Jake Platt. Carter John moving inside, taking the shot. It's good! Carter John finally gets Bradshaw on the board. And we're all tied up 2-2. 2:45 to go in the first quarter. Flores inside, knocked away by Nate Summit, who knocks Flores into the padding of the wall. No call there. Play continues. Trip Nestor, near corner. Passes that one over to Banda. Now back to Nestor. On the inside to Nate Summit. Summit under a double team trying to fight his way through it. Gets it over to Platt. Platt through the hoop for two. And Jake Platt gives Bradshaw a 4-2 lead. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Chris Flores with it for Mohave. Gets that one over to Alonzo Flores. The Flores is doing a good teamwork job there as Alonzo Flores picks up the basket with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, making it 4-4. Banda over to Carter John. Far side. Now John moving in. Tries to take the shot and gets fouled by Mohave, but still makes the basket. Brian Ising going to get pegged for the foul on that one as Carter John has a chance for a three-point play for the Bears. Nate Summit out of the game. He is replaced by Stiegel. John misses on the three-point play. Mohave with the rebound. Hawkes hands that one off to Ising. Now over to Alonzo Flores. Hands that one off to Hawkes. Hawkes moving in, trying to get around Nestor. Bounces that one over to Flores. Bounce on the inside, loose ball, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. But they're going to say it's still Mohave possession. And Chris Flores inbounds. Now over to Hawkes. $1:20 to go in the first quarter. 6-4 the score. Bears on top. Ising from the top of the arc. Pass on the inside and through the hoop it goes for Jesus Ramirez. And again, we're all tied up. It's 6-6. Carter John with it for Bradshaw on the near side. To Nestor. Now over to Banda. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Nestor with the jumper. No good. Mohave comes up with the rebound. Ising loses the ball. Jake Platt grabs it. Fight on the floor for the ball. Whistle sounds and jump ball is the call. And Platt and Eisen going at it, trying to get that ball back, but it will be Mohave possession as Mark Hightower comes into the game for the Thunderbirds. Chris Flores with it. Flores setting up the offense for the T-Birds. Trying to get around Jake Platt. Platt right in the face of Flores. Able to get that over to Eising. Alonzo Flores with it as we come down to 20 seconds left to go in the opening frame. Chris Flores to Alonzo Flores for three. No good. Rebound by Jake Platt. And Platt gets bumped into by Hightower, and that will bring about a foul. So first foul tonight for Hightower, who just got into this game for Mohave. Jake Platt will inbound for the Bears. We're all tied up 6-6 here in the first quarter. 8 seconds to go. Banda at the tip-off circle to Carter John. John moving in, going for three. It's good! Carter John hitting the three at the buzzer of the first quarter. With the score, Bradshaw Mountain 9, Mohave 6. We'll be back with quarter number 2 right after this.
I enjoy informing and educating people. It makes for a better country and a brighter future.
Rush Limbaugh.
Whatever's hot and whatever matters, guaranteed we will be talking about it. A man, a living legend, a way of life.
The Mandarin of Talk Radio. Rush.
Also known as the scariest and most dangerous man in America to the American left, and that's because I'm right.
The most listened to talk radio program in the universe.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on the News 1490 and 103.5 FM.
Welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School here in Prescott Valley on a very, very chilly night in the Tri-City area. Not that it matters here because we're inside a nice warm gym, so we don't have to worry about calling a game in cold weather. Unlike the Prescott and Bradshaw Mountain soccer teams last night over at Prescott High School, who were playing in, I think, about 20-degree weather last night. That was fun. By the way, Prescott winning both the girls and boys matches over there last night. And, of course, the Prescott girls soccer team ranked number 1 in the state as they remain undefeated. Bradshaw Mountain with the ball now to start off the second quarter. They're up 6-9. Low scoring first quarter. Bradshaw just kind of working the ball around now. Nate Summit with it. Over to Banda. Now to Trip Nestor. Back to Carter John, thought about a three. Now moving inside with the jumper. No good. Nate Summit with the rebound. Turn, shoots. Nate Summit scores. And it's 11-6 Bradshaw Mountain. Well, Nate Summit, who's been in a bit of a scoring slump of late. I think he's gone about 5 games without being in double digits point-wise. Of course, he was battling the flu for a bit, so that probably was one of the reasons why. As Carter John has the ball now for Bradshaw Mountain on the far side. Pass to Trip Nestor. Nestor at the top of the arc. Inside to Stiegel. Kicks it out to Banda. Banda moving into the paint. Out to Carter John. Now John almost loses the ball. Gets it over to Banda. 6:50 to go in the second quarter. Banda moving into the paint. Taking the shot. It's good! Nice layup for Devin Banda. 13-6. Bradshaw starting to heat up the offense. Chris Flores with it for the Thunderbirds. Trying to get around Nestor. Now passes that one. Intercepted by John. John moving into the paint, taking the shot. It's good. Carter John off the steal. Gets the bucket. And it's 15-6. In favor of Bradshaw as timeout is called by Mohave. Carter John already with 9 points tonight for Bradshaw Mountain. He is averaging just over 14 points per game this season. That puts him at 4th in the region in scoring. And Carter John, certainly one of those guys who has to be in the mix for Grand Canyon Region Player of the Year. Quite a few good candidates that we have seen here on our KYCA.info live streams. Carter John, one. Jason Parent and Corey Schwartz over at Prescott, another. Cade Juliffs from Lee Williams, he's certainly in the mix, along with Trent Olney from Coconino. Going to be an interesting vote for that Region Player of the Year award, I'll tell you that. Ball gets loose, stolen by Bradshaw. Nate Summit now stolen by Mark Hightower, but he loses the ball, and Banda picks it up for the Bears. Al Banda kind of takes his time coming past the half-court line. Nestor with it. And Bradshaw starting to slow down play a little bit here. Over to Carter John. John coming in. Gets it off to Nate Summit through traffic. Has the ball stolen. And we get a whistle on the play. And it looks like it's going to be Stiegel who gets the foul for Bradshaw. 3 fouls apiece between Bradshaw and Mohave as the T-Birds get the ball. Alonzo Flores walking past the tip-off circle. Now over to Ising for 3. It's good! Brian Ising nails a tray, and it's 15-9. Mohave trailing by 6. 5:13 to go in the second quarter. Nestor to John. Carter John gets it into Nate Summit. Now Summit trying to get around the double team to John for 3 from the near corner. No good. Skips off the rim and into the hands of Alonzo Flores to Hightower at the far side. Back over to Flores. At the far corner. And that is number 44, Hayden Williams with it. Tries to get it to Hightower, loses the ball, goes out of bounds. And it will be Bradshaw Mountain possession as Jake Platt checks back into the game for the Bears. Nestor to inbound. Jesus Ramirez also back into the game for Mohave, replacing Hayden Williams. Carter John taking his time coming up to the half-court line with 4:34 to go in the second quarter. 15-9 Bears. Pass over to Nestor on the inside of Summit. Summit dribbles once, trying to turn and shoot. Gets through and into a double team right now. And it looks like 3 seconds to call there against Summit, so it will be Mohave possession. Good double team effort there on the big guy by Mohave. Chris Flores past the half-court line. Over to Hightower at the far side, guarded by Platt. Flores with it. Bounce on the inside. Ising to Hightower. Gets it inside to Ramirez. Back out to Hightower. Ising with it. Ising moving in through a double team. Gets it off to Ramirez. Off the glass. It's good! Jesus Ramirez pulls Mohave to within 4. It's 15-11. 3:40 to go in the second quarter. 6 points so far for Ramirez. Now to Nestor. Long range 3. It's good! Trip Nestor with an NBA range 3, and it's 18-11 Bradshaw. Hightower out to Flores for 3. No good. Rebound by Platt. Gets it through the double team to Carter John. John moving in, out to Nestor. Nestor the jumper, it's good! Trip Nestor on fire here, making it 20-11. Bears leading by 9, 2:55 to go in the second quarter. Off the glass, no good, but it looks like Flores got fouled on his way up. Another foul called against TJ Stiegel. Alonzo Flores to the line. The senior with 2 points tonight for Mohave. First shot is good. And that'll make it 20-12 in favor of Bradshaw. Next shot, also good. And it's 20-12, but it should be 20-13 as he sank both those free throws. And we get a foul on the play. And it looks like that will be against Alonzo Flores. And they do have the right score on the board now, 2013. John with a nice one-handed shot for two. And it's 22-13. Bradshaw up by 9. Flores trying to get around the traffic there. Moves inside of the paint. Knocked away by Summit and stolen by Carter John. Over to Danny Perez. Now over to Josh Grant, who just checked into the game for the Bears. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Perez thought about a three. Looking around for someone to pass to. And now finally gets it over to Carter John. John loses the ball, picked up by Hightower. Hightower backs away and lets Mohave reset themselves with 1:44 to go in the second quarter. From the far corner, Ising over to Flores. Now hands that one off to Ising. Over to Hawkes. Hawkes moving into the paint, taking the shot through traffic. It's good! Hawkes getting the ball over Big Nate Summit for the bucket, and it's 22-15. Bradshaw still on top, $1:14 to go in the first half. Perez to Josh Grant, now to Platt. Carter John at the far corner. Moving into the paint, taking the shot, it's good! Carter John through traffic, burying the shot. And making it 24-15 Bradshaw, 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Ball gets away from Flores, he slides to get it. And they're gonna call possession, Bradshaw Mountain, as I think the ball went out of bounds as Flores tried to get it. So the Bears will inbound on the far side. It will be Trip Nestor. 45 ticks left to go in the second quarter. Devin Banda has it. Now over to John. John thought about a three. Now moves inside through traffic. Reverse layup. No good. Summit with the rebound. Turns. Shoots. It's good. Nate Summit for two. 26-15. Bradshaw had offensive struggles in the first quarter. Stolen by Nestor. And now Nate Summit with it over to John. 12 seconds to go. To Josh Grant. Inside to Summit. Stolen by Ramirez. 5 seconds to go. Hightower with the ball. Hightower almost stumbles and falls. Gets it knocked away by Carter John. Into the hands of Trip Nestor. And that does it for the first half of action as Bradshaw's offense finally comes alive and they take a 26-15 lead over Mohave. Halftime here on our KYCA.info live stream. Again, folks, thank you very much for joining us here on our live stream tonight. Again, 26-15, Bradshaw over Mohave. We're going to take a break here, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Honestly provocative talk radio on the Lars Larson Show.
Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders wants everything to be free, but you wouldn't believe what the bill comes to. Medical care is going to be free in the Bernie Sanders presidency. Also energy. Oh, and jobs, they're going to go away, but you won't have to buy anything because the government will be buying everything for you. The bill comes to $57 billion. How are we going to pay for all that? Oh, I know. We're going to tax the rich.
The Lars Larson Show, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on the News 1490.
And welcome back to Bradshaw Mountain High School. John Rust with you here. Thank you very much for joining us on our KYCA.info live stream of Bradshaw Mountain basketball. The Bears on top of the visiting Thunderbirds of Mohave High School 26-15 as we get set to start the third quarter of action here in the Bear Den. Carter John, what a night he has had so far for Bradshaw Mountain as he has scored 13 points. 5 points for Trip Nestor and 4 for Nate Summit. Over on the Mohave side of the ledger, 6 points tonight for Jesus Ramirez, 4 for Alonzo Flores. Chris Flores, who last year was an All-Grand Canyon Region honorable mention, has been held scoreless by Bradshaw Mountain the entire first half. Again, 26-15, Bears on top of the Thunderbirds. As third quarter is just about set to get going, As Flores inbounds to Flores, and we're underway. Alonzo Flores with it now. He bounces that one over to Chris Flores. On the inside to Hightower, back out to Flores. Thought about a three, trying to get around Banda. Back out to Hightower. Now to Ising. Flores with it. Mohave trying to work their way around this Bear defense. On the inside to Hightower. Back out to Flores for three. No good. Into the hands of Nate Summit for the rebound. Long cross-court pass over to Carter John. Pass the half-court line. John just taking his time, moving up to the arc. On the inside to Stiegel. Now to Trip Nestor. Off the glass. It's good! Trip Nestor! 28-15. Bradshaw with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Chris Flores. He backs out. Now gets it over to Hightower. Bouncer over to Ising. Moving in is Flores, over to Hightower, back out to Ising, going for three! No good, off the backboard, but into the hands of Alonzo Flores on the far side. He loses the ball, just keeps it in bounds. Ising on the inside, runs into Stiegel. And they're going to call that one against Stiegel, and I don't think Coach Blair Hillig is happy about that call. That is the third foul tonight called against TJ Stiegel. Chris Flores to inbound for the Thunderbirds. Gets it over to Ising for three. No good. Trip Nestor with the rebound. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. 28-15 Bradshaw Mountain to Summit. Back out to Carter John. John, top of the key. Bounce on the inside to Summit. Summit double teamed. Now to John in the paint, taking the running shot. No good. John gets his own rebound and gets the putback for two. 30-15, Bradshaw Mountain on top. 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Chris Flores moving in, spinning and losing the ball, and it's going to be Bradshaw Mountain possession. As Kelly Biofus checks into the ball game for the Bears. But we are going to get a full timeout called by Mohave. 5:54 to go in the third quarter. 30-15 Bears. We'll be back after this.
That's the IBM Model F keyboard. They called it the musical keys. Well, guess what? It's coming back. That's right, the second coming of the high-quality Model F. You know, sometimes you just need to go back a space to keep tabs on the future. Right? Or you might have to just maybe shift directions. Yeah, I'll stop right now.
Join us for Kim Commando, Sunday mornings at 8 on the News 1490.
Back here at Bradshaw Mountain High School, John Rust with you. 30-15 is the score in favor of Bradshaw Mountain in the third quarter. Bradshaw looking for the sweep, as earlier tonight the girls team defeated Mohave 53-34. And the Lady Bears honoring their lone senior Peyton Bradshaw before that game. Peyton Bradshaw had 13 points. Carter John lobbing it right into the hands of Flores. To Ising, inside, taking the shot. Comes up short, Trip Nestor gets the rebound. So Bradshaw lucks out as that turnover did not cost them. Now Carter John. Nestor has it. Bradshaw just working it around. Kelly Bilefus. Over to Banda. Bradshaw just kind of taking their time here. Looking for the right opportunity. Under the basket is Nestor. And falling over Nestor, number 24, Brian Ising. Almost tried to hurdle over Nestor there. So Ising gets dinged for his second foul of the night. And Trip Nestor on the inbound from Carter John gets the basket. 32-15, Bradshaw Mountain. As they're starting to make this into a one-sided game. Chris Flores. Coming to the top of the key to Hightower. Over to Alonzo Flores. Trying to get around Carter John. Flores inside. Stolen by Nestor. Over to Banda. Banda trying to get around the defense. He does. Gets the ball over to Trip Nestor. Bouncer on the inside to Nate Summit. Summit at the baseline, turning, shooting, and tries to go up for the shot, but he gets fouled for his efforts. And Nate Summit will come up to the line and shoot two for Bradshaw. Jesus Ramirez, his second foul of the night. Shot coming up for Summit. Gets the good bounce. Nate Summit, the first time these two teams got together back on January 10th, had 14 points versus Mohave. Next shot from the line coming up for the big guy, Nate Summit. In and out of the basket, but rebounded by Kelly Bilefus. Gives it to John. No, stolen by the Thunderbirds. Chris Flores into the paint, loses the ball, stolen by Bilefus. Trip Nestor over to Carter John. John into the paint, through traffic, goes for three, no good. And they're going to say John got hacked going up to the basket. John already with 15 points tonight for Bradshaw Mountain. First shot coming up from the stripe. He nails it. Second shot now for Carter John. That one is also good. 35-15, a 20-point lead for the Bears. 3:45 remaining in the third stanza. Flores to Hightower. Over on the far corner to Alonzo Flores. Now to Ising. He moves inside. Gets that one over to Flores. Flores to Ramirez through traffic. Gets that ball over to Ising. Mohave has been shut out so far in the third quarter. And they're just trying to penetrate this Bradshaw defense, try to get some more points on the board as they're down by 20. Bounce pass inside. And now loose ball stolen by Carter John. Gets it over to Jake Platt. Platt goes up for the shot. Knocked down by Hightower. No call. Play continues. Behind the back goes Ising, and it looked like it clipped off the leg of a Bradshaw player and went out of bounds. To Hightower. Carter John cuts him off with 2:55 to go in the third quarter. 35-15, Bradshaw Mountain. Flores into the paint. Feeds it to Hightower. Off the rim and rebounded by Kelly Bilefus. Carter John with it now. Trip Nestor bounces it inside to Summit with Ramirez right in his face. Almost loses the ball. Picks it back up and gives it over to Nestor. Nestor moves inside to Summit. Summit goes up for the shot off the glass. No good. Who gets the rebound? Jake Platt does. Rolls that one over to Carter John. Now to Bilefus. Back to John. To John again. Over to Jake Platt on the inside to Summit. Summit bounces, turns, shoots. No good, but Summit gets fouled as he takes that shot with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. And this will bring Nate Summit to the free throw line where he is 1 for 4 tonight. 5 points for Nate Summit. Make it 6 points. Summit good on that one. Devin Banda back into the game for the Bears along with Danny Perez. Carter John gonna rest a spell here for Bradshaw as Summit ready for his second shot from the stripe. Gets the good bounce on that one. 7 points for Nate Summit with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's 37-15 Bears. Chris Flores gets that one over to Hawkes. Moving inside, taking the shot off the glass, no good. But it looks like Hawkes got fouled going up, and now a good opportunity for Mohave to get their first point of the third quarter with 1:50 to go. Kelly Bilefus gets called for the foul for Bradshaw. Hawkes 2 points on his stat sheet tonight. He gets it, and finally, first point of the night first point of the quarter scored for Mohave. Second shot from the stripe for Chris Hawkes. That one is also good. Mohave 4 for 4 from the stripe tonight. 37-17. Bilefus at the ball. Double teams it, bounces it over to Banda. Banda on the inside, takes the scoop shot. Oh, they're going to call traveling against Banda. Basket does not count. Couple boos from the Bradshaw Mountain side on that one. Flores, top of the key. Guarded by Banda. Now he backs out. Gets that one over to Ising. Hawkes, top of the key, tries to get around Perez. And takes an off-balance shot that's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Bradshaw possession with 1:21 to go in the third frame. 37-17, Bradshaw Mountain in the lead. Pass over to Perez, bouncer to Platt. Out the near corner to Josh Grant. Grant in the paint, turns, shoots, no good, and Grant gets fouled. Josh Grant will head up to the free throw line for the Bears. Josh Grant coming off a very good season of football here at Bradshaw Mountain. He sinks that first free throw. In fact, watching Grant right now is Bradshaw Mountain football coach Chuck Moeller in attendance tonight. Second shot misses, rebounded by Kelly Bilefus. I think Bilefus has about 3 rebounds tonight off the bench. Banda into the paint, taking the shot, it's good! Banda gets the good roll, and it looks like he also got fouled. Chris Hawkes getting nailed for the foul, and Banda will go for the 3-point play. 6 fouls for Mohave, just 2 for Bradshaw in this half. And lane violation. But it's now 40-17, Bradshaw Mountain all over Mohave. Flores past the half-court line for the Thunderbirds. Gets that one out to Flores for three. No good. Rebound by Chris Flores. Over to Ising. Ising moving inside in the paint, taking the shot. No good. And slapped out of bounds by Chris Hawkes with 29 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jake Platt to inbound for the Bears. Bounces it to Danny Perez. Now over to Platt. Perez to Platt. Gets that one to Banda. Far side, covered by Flores. 14 seconds left to go in the third. Josh Grant with it. Now Platt with 6 seconds. Moving into the paint, taking the running shot. No good. And I think Platt got fouled on his way up. And it looks like it's going to be Chris Hawkes getting the foul again. That'll be his second one. Jake Platt to the line. Platt already with a basket tonight. And he gets his first free throw. 41-17 Bradshaw. Second shot by Platt is also good. And a big hurl denied by Kelly Bialfus, who takes the three. No good. Kelly Bialfus with a great block there on Flores and almost got a three out of it. So we head to the fourth quarter with the score 42-17 Bradshaw. We'll be back after this.
I enjoy informing and educating people. It makes for a better country and a brighter future.
Rush Limbaugh.
Whatever's hot and whatever matters, guaranteed we will be talking about it. A man, a living legend, a way of life.
The Mandarin of Talk Radio. Rush.
Also known as the scariest and most dangerous man in America to the American left, and that's because I'm right.
The most listened to talk radio program in the universe.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on the News 1490 and 103.5 FM.
Back here at Bradshaw Mountain High School, John Rust with you. Thank you very much for joining us here on our live stream of Bradshaw Mountain Basketball on KYCA.info. Fourth quarter about to get going, and it's all Bradshaw Mountain. 42-17 Bears in the lead. By the way, we'll be seeing Bradshaw Mountain Friday night. We'll also be seeing Prescott Friday night as the rivals clash over at Prescott High School. 5:30 for the girls, 7 p.m. for the boys on KYCA.info. Nate Summit with the ball for Bradshaw on the inside. Bouncer to Trip Nestor. Stolen by Mohave. Chris Flores with it. And Carter John, I think, got a little too physical there with Flores. So John picks up the foul, his second of the night for Bradshaw. 17 points for Carter John tonight. Lonzo Flores with it now for the Thunderbirds. Can't find anyone to pass to. Good defense by Banda. Stolen by the Bears. Stiegel to Trip Nestor. Devin Banda. Pass to Nestor. Now pass on the inside. Stiegel has it. Back out to Nestor. And again, Bradshaw just kind of taking their time here right now as Stiegel gets hacked from behind but gets the basket. And another foul under the basket committed by Mohave as TJ Stiegel picks up his first bucket of the night and will go for a three-point play. Brian Ising gets nailed for his third foul of the night. Stiegel doesn't get the good roll. Loose ball rebound. Stiegel gets it. No, it's Carter John who backs out to the far corner. Devin Banda to Nestor. On the inside to Nate Summit. Summit turns. Too much traffic. Now to Nestor. Nestor moving in, taking the running shot. Skips off the rim. Rebounded by the Thunderbirds. Loose ball stolen by Nestor. Now to Summit. Summit with the dunk! Nate Summit burying the ball, making it 46-17. And that brings the Bradshaw student section to its feet. Chris Flores, pass on the inside, fires it in and fires it out of bounds. And right now, just no luck for Mohave as they have scored just 2 points in the entire second half. Another good defensive second half by Bradshaw Mountain, who actually held Mingus to 5 points in the second half last week in that victory. Mohave with the ball. Ising moving inside, taking the shot off the side of the backboard. And I think this might be another foul on TJ Stiegel. It is. And I don't think Stiegel is too happy with that, but with his team up 46-17, probably is not going to complain too much. So Ising will go to the line for the Thunderbirds. Misses on his first free throw. Brian Ising, he does have a trade tonight, as Josue Luna into the game for the Bears, as Stiegel will take a seat. 4 fouls tonight for Stiegel. Second shot by Ising, and this one is good. 46-18. Bradshaw on top with 5:55 to go in the fourth. Trip Nestor. Far side. Gets it over to Carter John. John moving in. Taking the running shot, and it's good! Looked like Carter John bounced off of a Mohave player. Didn't hurt his attempt any. 48-18 as the ball goes out of bounds. A 30-point lead for Bradshaw, and we are in running clock right now. Chris Flores. And now Williams for three. No good. Rebound by Nate Summit. It has just become a not very fun night for Mohave. Nestor driving the paint, getting the bounce for two. And I think Nestor also got fouled. 11 points tonight for Trip Nestor. And again, it is running clock. 4:49 remaining in the fourth quarter as Danny Perez set the check into the game. Misses on that one. Rebounded by Summit. Gets it over to John, but knocked out of bounds. Also, folks, Tyler Stiegel into the game for Bradshaw. Danny Perez coming in. Carter John will take a seat. And that might be it for Carter John tonight. I would imagine Blair Hilly going to try to get a bunch of his bench players some time here in the game. As Hightower rushes inside, bounced off one of the Bears, and we'll see how they call that foul against. That's going to go against Danny Perez, his first of the night. Chris Flores to inbound. To Hightower, driving the paint. And it looks like another foul against Bradshaw Mountain. And that'll be Josue Luna who picks up the foul. 3:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rolls that into Ramirez. And another foul, and Luna just kind of throws his hands up in the air and is like, what? What am I doing wrong here? Got a feel for Josue Luna. He's not gotten a whole lot of minutes this season and finally gets into the game. And what does he do? Picks up about 2 fouls in about the first minute. Josue Luna, just a sophomore, as that one bounces in from Hayden Williams. 50-19 is the score. Bears on top. Kelly Bilefus into the game for Bradshaw Mountain, along with Blair Hillig. Second shot also good by Williams. That is the player Blair Hillig, not the coach Blair Hillig. And speaking of Hillig, he has the ball. Now over to Luna. Back to Hillig. Luna again. Gets it over to Stiegel. Danny Perez. Far corner for three. No good. But Perez gets his own rebound. Now Kelly Bilefus moving in the paint, taking the shot. Bilefus gets hacked. Bradshaw can't put the ball back. Mohave gets the rebound. Surprised no foul got called there. Human pile up and oh, man. Tyler Stiegel gets called for a foul, bumping into a Mohave player. Meanwhile, we had a world of human wreckage on the other side of the court and not a whistle to be heard. But again, I think at this stage in the game, it's not really going to affect the outcome. 50-20 the score. Mohave down by 30. Miss on that free throw. Three-pointer shot, and it is good by number 22, Caleb Fearing. Down to 1:30 remaining in the fourth quarter. Bilefus at the ball for Bradshaw Mountain to Perez. Now over to Hillig. Hillig hands that one off to Bilefus. Stiegel moving into the paint, goes for the scoop shot, no good. Stiegel falls to the ground, no foul called. Chris Flores hands that one off to Williams. Williams off the rim, no good, as Ramirez comes down on the back of, looks like that was number 23, Tyler Stiegel. And Bradshaw now in the double bonus, so Tyler Stiegel will go up to the line with 1 minute to go, and here the clock will stop. First shot by Stiegel is good. As right now, it's all bench players in for Bradshaw Mountain as they get some time on the court. Second shot misses by Stiegel. Hightower with the rebound, 55 seconds left to go in the game. Fearing with the shot off the glass, it's good! Caleb Fearing with 5 points off the bench for Mohave late in the fourth. Making the most of his time, Kelly Bilefus. Pass to Perez. Perez going for three. No good. Rebound by Mohave. Williams with it. And it looks like we had a foul. And it looks like that was Bradshaw Mountain's Blair Hillig getting called for the foul. Mohave in the bonus, so Hayden Williams will shoot 1 and 1. First shot's good by Williams. Williams 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Next shot by Williams is also good. 51-27, Bradshaw Mountain. Luna to Bilefus. Long pass over to Perez. Gets that one to Stiegel. Feeds it to Hillig for three. No good. Rebound by Bilefus, who gets bumped into by Hightower. Ball goes out of bounds. And Mohave with it with 20 seconds to go. Chris Flores. And we'll see if probably Mohave will work for the last shot here. Flips it over to Hightower. Yeah, Mohave in no hurry to get rid of the ball. And scoop shot no good by Fearing into the hands of Bradshaw Mountain's Blair Hillig, and that will do it for our game. Final score, a blowout in favor of Bradshaw, 51-27. 17 points for Carter John to lead the way for Bradshaw Mountain. 11 points for Trip Nestor. 9 points for Nate Summit. Meanwhile, for Mohave, 6 points for Jesus Ramirez, 5 points for Caleb Fearing, and 4 apiece for Alonzo Flores and Hayden Williams. Well, folks, that's going to do it for our live stream of Bradshaw Mountain Basketball. Join us again this coming Friday, Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain under the dome at Prescott High School, 5:30 for the girls, 7 o'clock for the guys on KYCA.info. For the Zinzaletta clan here at Bradshaw Mountain High School, I'm John Rust saying good night, everybody.